Yesterday I made a jokey tweet. Some people didn't understand that was just joking.
Just joshing around on the old socials.
I'm fascinated by certain people in sports, but I jokingly said, hey, my grandkid one day, Grandpa, how come the Blazers didn't get Cooper Flag? And I'm going to stare at them with a cigarette in my hand and say, because of Delano Banton in the cold November night. And I was joking. Delano Banton scored 17 points in 12 minutes of action last night.
17 points.
20, thank you. I shorted him 3 points.
He had 20 points?
That's right. He did it a garbage 3.
Oh, yeah.
He got the post-game interview. He was excited.
20 points in 12 minutes.
Scoot. He played Scoot off the floor. Scoot didn't play in the closing minutes of this game.
No, he did not.
And I told you yesterday the Blazers were going to win because basically the Pelicans were without everybody. All they had was really Ingram.
They're already 2 games ahead of us in the tank-off right now. I'm a little worried about New Orleans now. It's a bad basketball team.
The Blazers won a game.
They did.
And I sent that tweet out, and a couple people were like, it's a lottery system, okay? This isn't going to change anything.
Yeah.
I was shocked by that. But also, quite a few people.
It's not that they won.
Yeah?
It's that Chauncey was playing it.
Oh, he's actively trying to win.
That's what he's going to do.
He's in a lame duck year. He wants to get a job. Like, do you think this guy's going to roll over?
Sums up where the problem exists. But
anyways, I was surprised how many people responded with, I can't wait for Dirt. Dirt's fired up. Dirt's pissed off. Oh, my God. This has got to drive Dirt crazy. And you've done it. You may have people that tell you they're out on you.
Oh, they're back, baby. They're all the way back.
But you,
deep down, they know I'm right. They all know I'm right. They want to be fans, but they don't want to be an honest fan. And deep down, they know that I'm right. What are we doing?
We're winning.
What are we doing?
We're 3-5, baby.
Look, you can even get away from the whole idea of tanking, which is the whole point of this season to get as many ping pong balls as possible. But let's just set that aside for a second.
Okay.
Outside of getting as high a draft pick as humanly possible, what is the next most important thing that we can accomplish this season? Developing our young guys? Would you argue that's a pretty important piece of a rebuild? Well, can we all agree on? Is every Blazer fan on the same page there? Developing our young guys, very important. We're playing games in closing time minutes, and we have the 3rd overall pick from the NBA draft a year ago, which 16 months ago, the general manager told me he was such a generational talent that we can't let this guy slip through our fingers. 16 months later, he's sitting on the bench in closing time minutes so Delano Banton can put up shots.
Well, isn't that developing a young player?
Is Delano Banton a bigger part of your future than Scoot Henderson? Because if he is, that is a massive indictment on this organization. For the life
of
me,
him for nothing. If he becomes a good player, that's
fine.
Credit to them.
That's fine. Is he going to turn into an all-star? Is he going to turn into a player you can build a franchise around? Like, for the love of God, do not do the Blazer fan thing. I'm going to lose my mind if you do the Blazer fan thing.
Some people are saying that Delano Banton's floor is Cooper Flag's ceiling. That's just what some in the streets are saying.
Lose my mind.
He was good.
Is there anything?
Duop Reith is untouchable too. Can't trade him. Can't possibly part ways with Duop Reith.
We at least didn't play Rob Williams last night. He was active.
That's true.
We didn't play him.
He was available.
Why are we not giving our young guys who are trying to build the team around opportunities to learn and play and grow in pivotal moments of the game?
They're right now. If you just following. By the way, the Bucks have
1-6.
Well, they didn't have anybody playing last night. Dame almost won a game, but yeah, they're 1-6. ESPN's now running with should Giannis want out. So shout out ESPN for helping more people hate the NBA.
Yeah.
Right now, currently, Portland is 8th. They've lost the tiebreaker to the Pelicans at 3-5.
I mean, they should have swept. They should be 4-4. To be honest with you, they should have won that first game against New Orleans.
I would agree.
They should be a 4-4 basketball team.
I would agree with you.
And so I asked this on Friday. Then they lost 2 games this weekend. Then they won again last night. Like, how long is this? What we're going to do?
Well, we're going to do somewhat similar thing, I think, and I hope to be wrong on this because I said yesterday I want him to trade Ant. I don't need to see it. I know what it is. He's. Him and CJ, I don't see a big difference personally, and I've watched them play both a lot of basketball games. I would like Scoot to get into the starting rotation, so I don't know when that's going to happen. And so I think we're just going to be playing this game for the next couple weeks. Now, they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose to the Spurs on Thursday, but almost not like they can't beat the Spurs if they're going to play their vets and try to win.
You'd be 4-5 if you win that game.
Well, yeah. So
you're on pace to win 30 games right now.
32.
32.
Yeah.
So, look, eventually they're going to pull the plug like they've done the last 2 years.
Memphis just lost to the Nets, so, like, it's not impossible. And
John
you get
Morant had
Memphis
an
at home.
insane highlight in that game, by the way. His reverse dunk layup thing
He did
that he
like
did.
a cocked back 360
That was
into
bananas.
a layup. Like, him and Saquon's leap backwards
Yes.
are debatably the two most athletic things I've ever seen a human being do.
Never seen somebody, like, go up for a tomahawk dunk and then spin move in the air.
I've also stood next to John Morant, and I'm 6'1" in shoes. I'm not trying to he might be my height.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. What
Freakishly
he did.
athletic.
Freakishly athletic. Yeah, I mean, look, I understand where you're coming from. I'm joking with you about the Banton stuff.
This to
But
me
Chauncey clearly wanted to win that game last night.
Well, it just highlights the biggest issue that they have right now, and that is that we're on two different tracks, and this has been the case now for 2 years. You have a head coach who's desperately trying to win as many games as he possibly can because he wants to coach again in the NBA. I don't blame him at all for that. He's been given a raw deal. I don't think he's that good of a coach, but he's also been given a pretty raw deal. He wants to try and stack up as many W's to show, hey, when I'm applying for jobs next summer, because I'm not going to be in Portland long term, hire me. Look what I did with this roster, and I won these games, and look at what I called. Like, that's his whole focus right now, when the organization's focus should be on ping pong balls and developing young players. And when you have a coach and a general manager who are on different pages, this is what you're going to get. And so I know it sounds like a broken record and it might piss some people off, but when you're going through years like this, you have to have an eye on the bigger picture and not a night in and night out. That was so much fun. It's not about one night in November. It's about what the long-term plan is and getting ping pong balls and developing players. And for the life of me, I don't know what it's going to take for this fan base to wake up and realize that.
Well, most people.
We've done this 3 years in a row. I remember last year saying this when Dame came back to town and Anthony Simons and veterans were playing in the fourth quarter of that game.
Well, you want to win the breakup.
And we sat Scoot in the fourth quarter when we could have given him a moment where it's like, hey, that's the former point guard against the new point guard. He didn't even play in the fourth quarter. Why? Because the head coach wanted to win the game. It drives me nuts, man. It drives me nuts.
I do hate the narrative he's been given a raw deal. He got fully 5 years guaranteed to
Financially,
be a
not
coach,
a raw deal, no.
and has not been fired for having one of the worst 45 winning percentages in NBA history, has shown zero as an actual coach. And he also, by the way, took a job of a team that he didn't like roster-wise. Hey, spare me that he's been given
That's
a
fair.
raw deal.
Financially, he's doing
How many
just fine.
coaches get to be this bad for 5 straight years and get the full length of that deal? It's ridiculous.
We're in a different kind of purgatory now, so that's cool. We used to
Delano
be
Banton was fun.
in playoff purgatory. Now we're in tank purgatory. We're not bad enough. We're not good enough. We're in no man's
We're
land
going to
again.
the 7th worst record, and we're going to get the number 1 pick. It's going
Okay.
to shock you.
Yes, I can't wait for that to happen because that happens all the time in the NBA.
You have to publicly apologize to
I
them.
will. When we have the 9th worst record in the league and we end up with the number 1 overall pick, I will publicly apologize on NBA Draft Lottery Day.
They get Wemby on Thursday, so they get Wemby tomorrow.
The guy
Or
we were
2
one
days.
ping pong ball away from because we won some meaningless games before the All-Star break. That was cool. Who would you rather have, Wemby or Scoot right now?
That's
tough
not
call.
even a debate.
Tough call. I don't know.
I think you sit Wemby at the end of that
I
game
think
last
you
night.
definitely sit him at the end of the game.